Well, hello there, and welcome to what I believe to be a truly special episode of Breaking in the Habit. My name is Brother Casey Cole, and today I'd like to talk to you about my new book called What Happens After Saying Yes to God. But rather than simply telling you about it, I thought it might be fun to be interviewed about it. You know, like famous people do when they write a book. And since Stephen Colbert hasn't returned my call yet about appearing on The Late Show, it'll come, I'm patient, I've decided to bring in my own interviewer, someone who knows me well, knows my work, and truly believes in the mission of breaking in the habit. So without further ado, please welcome me. No. What? Hello there. Brother Casey, this is all wrong. Mm-hmm. Oh, if I'm going to be the interviewer, I need to introduce you, not you introduce me. And I need to sit on the right side because that's the way they do it on TV. Here? So if we're going to do this, we might as well do it right. Okay? Okay, sure. Good. So you sit right here and you... Okay, great. Is that good? Okay, good. Good afternoon and welcome to Breaking in the Habit, a mission of evangelization and catechesis through social media. Today's guest is a solemnly professed Franciscan friar, the founder of Breaking in the Habit Media, and the recent author of a new book called What Happens After Saying Yes to God. Please welcome Brother Casey Cole.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for
having
down.
me.
Yeah,
sit
down.
great.
Thanks for being here. Yeah, thank you. So, Brother Casey, tell us a little bit about the book, because it's sort of a unique composition you've put together. Some old, some new. Yeah, so many people know, but maybe a little background. I started writing a blog a little over 6 years ago to share about my experience of being in the Friars. I did this because I found that there was a lot out there about the idealistic notions of being a friar, a lot of theological writings, but very little first-hand experiences of people actually living the life, and absolutely nothing about the struggles people face. So what I did was once or twice a week, I wrote a blog post for about 6 years. I just started about what I was thinking, what I was feeling, my hopes and my joys, the struggles and frustrations. And so fast forward 6 years, I'm preparing for my solemn profession, looking back on my time in formation, and I realized that many of the posts were little snapshots into my life, moments of growth, lessons learned. And when I read them all together, there was even a progression from what I thought one year to the next. And so this book is sort of my making sense of it all, putting the pieces together in a mosaic of sorts, reflecting back on where I was then and where I am now, all to tell an overall story. Yeah, I have to say, I found this part of the book to be positively delightful, sincere and personal in telling your experiences of discernment, and yet I got the sense that the story was truly not about you. It was about my journey and about the reader's journey, about all of our journeys as Christians. Well, I appreciate that, and yeah, you're right. I mean, part of the reason you probably felt that way is because you are me, so it was your journey. Yes, okay, besides the point, I think you're exactly right. This book is not a memoir, and I hope no one picks it up thinking that it's about me or just my story, because I wrote this book with the intention of helping people discern a life in God. The specific experiences are my own because that's all I know, but the overall story I want to tell is the story of every Christian. There are certain things that we all go through when we try to become more serious disciples of Christ. Struggles with prayer, challenges in relationships, figuring out what we're good at, and really dealing with failure. This book is simply my take on the things that happen once we say yes to God. Well, and that right there is what I found very interesting about it, because it's a book about discernment, and yet outside of the introduction, almost everything in it is about your life after making the decision to join the Friars, presumably after your discernment was over. Explain that for me. Yeah, so that's the thing. One of the main themes of the book, the title of chapter 1 in fact, is that discernment never ends. Sure. We may end an intense period of focusing on the big decisions of life. What jobs should I pursue? Should I marry this person? Where should I go to school? Those sorts of things. And I had certainly done that in deciding to join the Friars. But what I found was that no sooner did I answer that question, did I have more questions. How was I going to live as a friar? Who was I called to serve? How was I called to serve? And what I realized in it is that discernment is not an action we do to answer the big questions and then simply move on. It's a way of life, something we do each and every day when we recommit ourselves to our call and ask God what we need to do today to be better disciples of Jesus Christ. And who doesn't need that? I think the world would be a better place if everyone started each day with the intention of being more like Jesus by the end of the day. Do you think that this book will respond to the vocation crisis of the Catholic Church that much of the Western world is facing? Is that why you wrote it? Yes and no. I certainly love my church. I love my vocation. And so I would love to see more young people join religious life in the priesthood in the Catholic Church. Ever since I started writing my blog, and as you see all throughout my social media presence, my mission is all about sharing my vocation that I've found. So yes, for those discerning religious vocations, I think this could be a really helpful resource for them. And yet, I wouldn't say that there's anything even particularly Catholic about this book. When I talk about being called, I'm not talking about priesthood or religious life. I'm talking about Christian discipleship.
Of course, yeah.
I strongly believe that we all have a call from God. And so I would actually say that I wrote this book with the general Christian in mind. You mentioned your work on social media. How can people learn more about the book or connect with you before they decide if they want to read it? I'm glad you asked. So right now I'm running a Lenten reflection series on YouTube based on the themes and called. Each Friday during Lent, 6 in total, there's going to be a video and a blog post corresponding with a chapter in the book. So people can look back at past videos or subscribe to see upcoming ones. But really, my social media presence is not just about putting out new content. I really try to connect with people. I do my best to respond to every comment or message on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I'd be happy to answer any questions people have about the book or just discernment in general. Brother Casey, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
His book is called What Happens After Saying Yes to God, and you can purchase it today from franciscanmedia.org or amazon.com. If you're a Christian trying to figure out what God might want you to do with your life and what saying yes looks like, I can't recommend it enough for you. Until next time, peace and good to you all. Oh my God. That one was good. I liked it.